Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judgment. Welcome to the National League before a massive weekend. I think it's one of the biggest weekends that we will see absolutely now, with Man City facing Arsenal at the Emirates. When is the last time that Man City beat Arsenal? It was 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Chelsea faced West Ham on a Monday night, and Liverpool, with one of the toughest games going away at Bournemouth, who don't lose games at home, was smashed Newcastle as well. The transfer market is about to shut down. There is still the links of Watkins. There is still the links of Arsenal trying to sign someone. Liverpool already said that they might not sign anyone, so they're going to continue the season as they are. While Chelsea have blocked Disasi's leaving, they are about to let go of Joao Felix to Aston Villa, who is absolutely chasing the guy to replace John Duran, who left to Saudi Arabia, of course. And there is nothing else to happen. Man City is still chasing Cambiasso, Douglas Luiz, but there's a lot of going on. I believe there is going to be a signing, a massive one at the end of the window. There's someone that just said, Ornstein just had a tweet about something. It's Manchester United deal for someone I never heard of, so it's fine. It's not a bomber. 2 hours ago, Nippon staying. I don't know who's that. What are we talking about? Who are these people? Who's this?
Nipan's a Norwegian wonder kid.
16 years old.
18 years old. But Arsenal were trying to get him. And then Girona, which basically means Man City, were trying to get him as well. But he's staying.
Does it matter for Arsenal to win the league if you get Nipan?
Probably not. I think that's probably why he hasn't done the move now, because I don't think we'd have used him in crunch games towards the end of the season. But
yesterday, there was a tweet about this kid that Arsenal are chasing, a wonder kid, a 15 years old goalkeeper or something like that.
Yeah, some 16-year-old Turkish goalkeeper. I don't know why. We've got loads of young goalkeepers as well. So, yeah,
it's kind of crazy. But listen, people, hit that like button if you're here. Let's get to 100 likes. Also, all these guys' channels in the description. Rory Talks Football, and also follow Rory Talks Football on Instagram. That's his main thing. TikTok as well. Dan, of course, released a video about why Chelsea is failing. I watched a bit of it. It's very, very good. And Michael Talks Football, who just live stream for the UEFA Champions League, even though your team is not even in that draw. That draw finished in like 5 minutes, which is, I'm not used to that. But
better than the AFCON draw, because that took forever, the AFCON draw.
I believe you're the only one that watches the AFCON draw, apart from the African people.
Hey, it's the best tournament.
That happened.
Yeah. Hit that like button, people. Where do we start? Actually, I want to start with something about me and Rory were talking before the show about the Ollie Watkins news and why is everyone pushing that Ollie Watkins wants to join Arsenal now. He wants to join Arsenal now. Rory told me that he believes it's true. It's come from the players' camp. And people that don't know, you explained it very well. Just can you explain what happened, please? Again.
Yeah. So what my understanding is Ollie Watkins' camp want the deal done. I think they know that he's getting to a point at 29 where there are going to be, there may only be a few opportunities to get that sort of move. And obviously he's an Arsenal fan. On Monday, it was reported Arsenal put a bid in of like 60 million, which wasn't true. Ornstein confirmed that. There wasn't really even a proper bid put in. There was a discussion around whether or not it could happen for like 40 million. And that was immediately like rebuffed on Monday. It then got leaked on Wednesday. That was when it finally got leaked. And it got leaked by Ollie Watkins' camp. I think because they were aware that the John Duran deal was suddenly very close to happening and knew that if that deal happened, it would probably rule out any move for Watkins. So, yeah, that's kind of, I think, what has happened. They're still trying to push it, but I just don't think Arsenal are going to go anywhere near what Villa would need to sell him in January, given that they've lost John Duran as well.
So that's it for Arsenal this window.
I think so, yeah. The only people talk about Evan Ferguson, we cannot physically do Evan Ferguson on loan, and I don't think we would go and spend 40 or 50 million on him because it's such a gamble. Just doesn't seem like the sort of thing that we would look at doing. And so,
can I ask you something about something that I heard on a couple of big Arsenal accounts? That Watkins thing is a smoke screen. I told you that before the show. It's not something that I'm just telling you now.
A smoke screen for Sesko.
For Sesko now, that Arsenal will go and fork the money for Sesko now. Why are you ruling that out before we talk about the games?
Actually, the Watkins part of that isn't what makes me think it could happen. The thing that makes me think it could happen is that they just spent 81 million euros on Xavi Simons.
It was 50. They spent 50 on him.
50
it went down 50 million.
It's 30 with bonuses, but they're not going to reach the bonuses.
So the 30 extra is bonuses.
Yeah. But a significant sum for a Bundesliga side to pay.
And that's what makes me think that what might happen.
But I don't think it will. Because I think, from what I've heard, there's a gentleman's agreement for Sesko in the summer. And that was very much agreed. He'd stay at Leipzig for the season. Arsenal will get him for a decent fee, even though there's no release clause in his contract. I just think that'll happen in the summer.
Okay. Let's just talk about the football. And by the way, everyone, don't wait for, you can just chime in anytime. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I believe the key is Nwaneri in this game. I have this feeling that Nwaneri will have a very good game. I watched the highlights of him in that game that you guys played against Girona. The kid is so good that I believe he can actually play the same way as Saka on the right side. He's not Saka. I'm not here sitting and being deluded and saying, oh, he's Saka's level. But the way he plays, the left foot, how he cuts inside, how he can shoot, how he can cross, I think that is how Arsenal beat Manchester City. It's that right side behind Gavardiol who goes forward, and it's that side that Kanji plays on the left. And I think that is how Arsenal beat Manchester City. If Odegaard is back, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to play.
Yep.
So it has to be Nwaneri on that right side with Martinelli or Trossard on the left.
Yep.
What is the hopes for Arsenal in this game? Some people said it's a draw. Some people said Arsenal win.
I think we need to win it. I think the hope, the ambition needs to be a win. I think we've figured out Man City, or certainly the previous iteration of Man City. I think we had them figured out. Not lost in a couple of seasons to them. Should have beaten them at the Etihad. And I think they've still not really done anything to fix their midfield, which has been the fundamental issue all season. Relative to Arsenal, who now, Declan Rice in the past month or so, has really kind of got back up to his top level. So I think we win it in midfield if we do win it. And like you said, Nwaneri will be a threat. I think long-term we are looking now at Nwaneri being considered a forward rather than a potential Ødegaard backup. Yeah. It's the main unknown.
Can
for
I
me
ask a
is
question?
Mamouche.
Would you go play City on the front foot, or would you wait for them?
Wait,
In your opinion, wait
yeah.
to play on the transition. Don't go
Yeah.
and press and do the full-on whole field press. Why is
We
that?
will
Because
still
Haaland.
No, we will still press them because I think we're good enough to press them and we're good enough to force them into mistakes. You saw early doors against Chelsea that they were struggling with it. So we will do that to an extent. And we don't worry anymore about Haaland on the transition. It's between Gabriel and Saliba, he's pretty much locked off. But one thing I think we'll be cautious of will be Calafiori again, if Calafiori starts, or if Miles Lewis-Skelly starts. That was how they had a bit of joy in the first game, Savinho down that side. And then I think Marmouche is kind of the unknown if he starts the game.
I don't think
Savinho
Savinho plays at all, by the way.
Really?
I
Midweek,
don't know.
he was really important.
I think Marmouche plays left, and Foden plays right side. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I honestly think City's best chance to beat us would be Savinho and Marmouche. I think that's the sort of threat that Arsenal actually struggled to do.
I don't think Pep has the balls to do that. He won't.
No,
because he has to drop someone, right? He has to drop someone.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, look, I think
Kovacic,
Arsenal...
Bernardo, Kevin De Bruyne, Foden will play, and Haaland. So that leaves one position between Doku, Savinho, and Marmouche. And I believe he starts Marmouche.
I would drop Bernardo.
Huh? Well, he doesn't have a midfield. He can't.
Yeah, I think you can play Foden there.
He can't. Foden can't defend. Bro, he's zero defensive attributes.
Yeah, but Kovacic will sit.
Kovacic is not enough. Arsenal will tear them apart if Kovacic plays at the lone
I think I would drop Bernardo if I was Pep.
But how? I'm questioning you. How?
Move then John Stones into the midfield, probably.
Just call him into the office and say,
as a
Bernardo,
midfielder.
I'm not going to play you.
Yes, because they have no defensive cover. You even saw against Club Brugge, they were getting torn apart by Club Brugge. Can you name a Club Brugge player, Mo? No, you can't.
No.
So that's the problem for Man City. They can't defend in transition. So move John Stones to the midfield. Arsenal got a good midfield. And then, I mean, you're going to have to try Husnov again, the young centre back from
They don't have enough players.
We are doing a disservice to Club Brugge there because like Mignolet's there.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, I mean, it's Mignolet at the twilight of his career. But I think, what do you think? If I was Pep, I would actually play on the counter-attack. Because you can clearly see that if you play with possession of the ball, every team's now counter-attacking you and getting goals. So if you're Man City, your best opportunity is actually sitting back and counter-attacking. Just use Haaland as a target man. Use because Marmouche at Frankfurt, elite on the transition. Now, I don't know who's going to play on the right side. That's maybe someone like Savinho would play better there. Maybe he will drop one of Foden and KDB.
Yeah, here's my problem before Rory comes in. I don't believe that Pep Guardiola in his career knows how to set up a team defensively. He just doesn't know.
I mean, didn't he do that against PSG? Obviously, it didn't work out, but they sat back and just defended.
Which is exactly the whole point. That is my whole point. When he sets up his team defensively, he doesn't know how to do it.
I think he knows how to at least try because he did it when they came to the Emirates last year. They lost. Arsenal won 1-0. That deflected Martinelli goal. But actually, and this is what I think will happen this weekend. Both teams will see the opposition's best threat as the counter. I think both teams will sit off a little bit. I think it'll be quite a stale game. And I think it will probably be a moment that decides it. So, I'm expecting a game very similar to last season at the Emirates, to be honest.
Did you know the difference? Man City has more moments players than you as Arsenal. Like the Haaland, Marmouche, KDB, Foden. You don't have Saka. It's a massive it's Nwaneri. Like if I'm looking at a player to have a moment, it's Nwaneri. Is anybody expecting Havertz to have that moment or something?
No.
Might actually.
No, you're right.
Havertz maybe. Havertz definitely have moments.
He shows up in these games, you know that, Rory.
You know who our other
he just
players? Trossard used to be. He's more of an impact off the bench kind of moment, but Calafiori has suddenly become a moments player.
That's great.
He's just turned into your Guardio.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily
his finishing. That goal the other day kind of got overlooked. Didn't
he's a very good footballer. He's a very good footballer on the ball.
Do you know what the other moments sort of combination we have is Declan Rice on corners with Gabriel in the box. Like that is
and Man City struggle with this. be honest. He's struggling
Yeah.
big time. And that's what I
So-
mean. Like, I believe, and people are like, yesterday we did the show and everyone is like predicting City to win. I'm like, based on what? Like, what is your basis for this prediction? Like, how do you predict City winning? Like, based on what? Like,
I think
if you watch
they're the
City,
best. They're currently the best form side in the league in the last 5 games.
City.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
if you dig into those, results,
I agree, Rory. By the way, but I think that's
three
where
of
you
them
can
were
try and
against
hope for them.
awful
I like that.
teams.
He reads people. He's like, this is why they're saying City would win.
That is
Wha-
true, though,
wha-
isn't it?
Can
That
I
is
ask you
true.
guys,
People are saying
when
City
is
are
the
back.
last time a big team went to the Emirates and actually played, apart from Newcastle, when is the last team that went to the Emirates just played better than Arsenal? And even Man United, they won in penalties, right? That was the cup. Like, I don't see City going to the Emirates, and it's astonishing that I would say the next part. And tactically, Pep dominates Arteta, for example. That happened 2 years ago when Arsenal were going for the league and the 3-1 game. But and also there was, I don't know who was playing for Arsenal, but at that time, yeah, maybe. Arteta gained so much experience within 2 years that I don't think he gets dominated tactically by Pep in this game. And Pep doesn't even have the tools. He doesn't have the Rodri. Like, given De Bruyne barely can run, so how is he going to dominate? When Newcastle played against Arsenal, Newcastle basically said, Arsenal, you can have the ball, you can do all you want, we just have better players, we're way more physically stronger than you. Our striker is way superior, our left winger is way superior than your attack without Saka. No matches, like there's no matching between the two teams. And that is, Pep doesn't have that. Erling Haaland gets dominated by Gabriel and Saliba. I believe so.
Well, the situation with City now is if he plays like De Bruyne, Bernardo, Gundogan, like if he plays those players and Haaland, he has to control the game and he has to be dominant in possession, because in transition it's so obvious to see those players are all liabilities now. So that if he goes with players with legs, where I think City look probably arguably stronger this season, players like Marmoush, Savinho, Foden in midfield, Kovacic obviously in transition is good for them, not necessarily defensively, but Haaland in transition looks like he gets more involved in the game. That's when I feel like City would favour their odds against Arsenal. And I don't know whether Pep will do it, but I have a feeling you don't sign Marmoush unless you've got the idea or you've got the belief in a different philosophy. Otherwise, I just don't think they would have paid that much money for him to come into like a really heavily possession-based side.
So I'm going to ask Mike about this. We had Nobbins, and the question is, he spent that much money on Marmoush, a brilliant player. Do you think Pep adapt and changes the way he plays football just to accommodate Marmoush? Or Marmoush will adapt?
I mean, didn't you just see the game against Chelsea? Marmoush was constantly like, hey, yo, I'm here. You want to play through to me? I mean, it was probably like 10 times where Marmoush wanted a through ball, but he has to understand, this is Man City, and this is Pep. All he wants to do is just control the game. So I think Marmoush, he's going to have to adapt to Pep, not the other way around. You don't adapt to a Marmoush who, obviously, I rate him highly coming from the Bundesliga, but you're going to one of the greatest managers of all time. You're going to have to adapt to him. So I think Marmoush is now going to take some. I think this game is going to be more suited to him, though. This is a game where, even though he's in a tough battle against Timber, that's not going to be easy considering Chelsea had Reece James. Yeah, Reece James at right back. So good oppositions to go up against, but now it's down to Gvardiol, Marmoush down that left side to create, because down the right side, you got Matheus Nunes. Like Matheus Nunes at right back, that's going to be a liability for Manchester City, especially even though it's Trossard and Martinelli. I feel like Matheus Nunes is such a liability. You even saw Club Brugge and PSG. What do they constantly do? Go down the right side of Man City over and over again. So if you're Arsenal, you got to take advantage of that.
Arsenal's right side is so much superior with Saliba and Timber. Even when Thomas Partey plays in the middle, he plays brilliantly ahead of them. He's not going to be a right back. With Declan Rice on that side, I don't think that City can create something from that left side. I know what the people think in the chat, but I'm not understanding how like Haaland will find spaces, for example, between Saliba and Gabriel. Like that,
he will attempt to bully them. I think like he's done that before.
Bully Gabriel and Saliba.
He's tried to before.
He tries to. And to be honest, like he generally does normally fail. I think the bigger danger I think will be Saliba and Gabriel get sucked into dealing with Haaland, and maybe Marmoush running in behind with a flick on or something like. I think it's a big game for our fullbacks, which is going to be Timber, and then honestly, it might be Miles Lewis-Skelly that starts at left back.
What do you think? What do you want?
I honestly don't know. Miles Lewis-Skelly was rotated out. You know, he was rested in the week at a point where we'd only just found out he wasn't going to be suspended. But yeah, I think we'll probably start Miles Lewis-Skelly, to be honest.
But you're the one who says that you win with Calafiori, not Miles Lewis-Skelly.
We do. But I
think
don't know.
Arteta's aware of this. Arteta's aware of this. That
Yes.
Calafiori provides something extra going forward than Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. But the alternative way of looking at it is maybe Calafiori started in the week to get him physically up to speed to start against City as well. To be honest, I don't know. I'm not actually overly fussed either way. I think it would be unbelievable, really, if we did start Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri in a game against Man City where we're fighting for the title. I think it's quite impressive for the club to have brought those two through this season in the way that we have. But no, I don't know.
Martinelli and Trossard. Go ahead.
Genuinely, I was going to say that Arsenal's only chance of scoring really is set pieces.
How?
Gabriel, that's how.
No, but why not the other ways? Why not Nwaneri? Why not?
Okay, well, Nwaneri
why not
individual
Nwaneri?
class,
Why not
of course.
across to Havertz?
But if we're thinking to
City's
ourselves,
defense is not that strong.
yeah, but have you seen Arsenal score a lot of counter-attacking goals this season? Do they look like a threat on transition?
But that's why we disagree. I actually think Arsenal will dominate the game. Pep will try. Okay, so against PSG, okay, let's just be objective. He was 3-2 down. He couldn't touch the ball. Do we think PSG is better than Arsenal in passing? Yes, because they have Luis Enrique. But Arsenal at the Emirates can dominate the ball, can pass the ball around, can break the opposition's press, right? PSG, you know the position stat at 3-2. From 3-2 all the way to the end of the game, it's 60% PSG position versus Man City. Pep Guardiola has failed without Rodri to when he plays a team that was good in passing, which is, we know, Saliba, Gabriel, Odegaard, Partey, Timber, even Lewis-Skelly, by the way, he's so good in position, right? Timber as well. I don't think that Pep will be able to dominate position unless Arteta is doing well. Let's defend and give him position. If Arteta wants to have position, I believe he has more tools to dominate position than Pep Guardiola. Marmoush is not a position player. Savinho's not. Kovacic isn't. There's no Rodri. Diaz might not be fit because he's injured. So where are the position-based players? Nobody. Like his core that dominates the ball is not there. And that is my point about this, that I believe that Arsenal tactically are more superior in this game, not because Arteta is better than Pep. It's because he has the tools now. Have you watched Declan Rice lately? In position and out of position. Thomas Partey in the middle. So I believe that he has more tools than Pep. It's just a matter of like the injuries that Pep has.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's why I'm like, Arsenal will score goal. And it's not only transitions and corners. And Man City, we know that Man City will try to press. We know that. Physically, and it's one last thing before anybody comes in. Physically, Man City are nothing without Rodri and without Diaz compared to the Arsenal midfield when they're on top of their game with Declan Rice and Partey, Saliba and Gabriel and Timber. Nothing.
That's why I was thinking that he might move John Stones into midfield and just play the DM position. And then he's probably going to go with Kushinov again in the center back. I know he had
another thing.
Yeah, I know, but I know he had a rough 10 minutes. But after that, he looked a little bit more comfortable, and he just needs rhythm. But this is a tough game to go into again for a young kid.
Who plays right back then? Nunez.
Yeah, they have no other choice. Yeah, it's Nunez.
Nobody.
Yeah, so I mean,
everyone is injured. Imagine that, Rory. Let me give you the line. Gavardiol, Akanji, Kozanov, and Matthias Nunes. If John Stones is fit, which is I doubt, John Stones is always going to have something, right? If John Stones is fit, I think he starts over Kozanov. And he has Kozanov, he has John Stones, Nunes, Akanji, Gavardiol. That is not strong defensively.
Yeah, I think Martinelli, Rice, Calafiori down that left-hand side up against Nunez and Kusanov. I think that is actually a big mismatch from City's perspective.
Yeah.
Why do people think I'm an Arsenal
midfielder that can cover either?
Okay, see, people think I'm an Arsenal fan. It's like it's so easy to come here and say, City will win the game. We'll go to the Emirates and win. We're trying to analyze the game, and just people don't accept that Arsenal at the Emirates are not weak.
Arsenal
not weak
by quite some way.
Yeah, for me, Arsenal favourites.
Yeah, I'm like, why do people think otherwise? I don't understand it. Like, based on what?
I think people have just been like, I don't know, misled by City's results in the Premier League. Even
That's what I'm.
like
That's what I think.
the Chelsea game, they won that game because Maresca froze and got it wrong. Arteta
And
won't
Sanchez.
do that. Well, and Sanchez, yeah.
Well,
Which, I mean,
Sanchez ultimately the game was probably pretty much going to be wrapped up anyway in City's favour, with or without him making that mistake, because they were going to
Yeah.
inevitably keep getting repeat chances of the same manner. Like Rory said, the high line was literally sacrificial, and there were a number of opportunities for Marmoush to remain on
same exact play happened.
Yeah, exactly right. Vardio obviously had so many opportunities. There is no way Arteta goes to Manchester City, sets up his Arsenal team against Manchester City with a high line. Like, it's just not going to happen. So that limits most of City's attacks that they had against Chelsea, that they just won't happen against Arsenal.
The only slight concern is that Arteta still isn't ruling out that David Raya might miss the game. But
yeah, I saw that.
Oh, really?
That was horrific the other day.
Oh,
You're fucked.
you're fucked.
You're
Neto
fucked.
is terrible.
But I don't know if
because he can pass, guys. He can pass.
He can't
Raya's
save. He attempted to save it outside of his box.
Yeah.
If you, by the way, I change all the analysis if Raya is not fit, because I believe Arsenal playing one man less. David Raya is so crucial in passing the ball between Gabriel and Saliba, even outside the box, by the way, which is something that Ederson used to do. Step outside the box, create an angle for your teammate.
Yeah, Raya sometimes
Neto's not going to do that,
doesn't he? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
He's
really
also crucial. And
look at his positioning in the last game. It's
one
very
of the other,
stable.
like, major factors of where Raya is big for us is all of our defending is designed to force teams out wide and cross the ball into the box. And David Raya is the best in Europe at claiming crosses. Neto, nowhere near it. So it throws everything off, both in possession and out of possession. I'm hoping it's just
Is
classic.
Neto worth the loan spot, Rory?
He's
Not
cup
really.
tied.
I mean, like, if you think about
Not really.
the type of player you could bring in to just help you get through the rest of the season, is it worth having him as a backup keeper if you've got, I don't know, if you've got a youngster or...
Wait, Rory, was that his first? Was that his first appearance against Girona this season?
Yes, yeah. That was his first and probably only appearance. So, because we're out of the FA Cup, he can't play in the Carabao Cup, and he's not going to play in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So, but the problem is, so we do have we've got a young keeper called Tommy Setford, who we got from Ajax, who's 21, and there's a lot of hype around him.
Was that in the summer?
Yeah, but he's been injured quite a lot this season. So then we've actually ended up using this guy called Porter. We used him early stages of the Carabao Cup, but he's only 16. So I'm like, you can't really, rely on a 16-year-old to be coming into Premier League games. So yeah, we left ourselves in a bit of a weird situation with the whole goalkeeper thing. That is, now we are really relying on David Raya not being injured at any point. So
yeah. It's very strange, to be honest, what Arsenal did in the summer, to be honest. Not signing a striker, not getting a decent goalkeeper. You sold Ramsdale, right? This window.
Yeah,
so Ramsdale, like...
Yeah,
no. The whole point,
have you seen him this season, Mo?
Still Ramsdale.
He's on for his
get
third
someone
relegation.
for like 10 million as a buy. Like, go and sign a backup goalkeeper for 10 million as a buy. Or find a free agent, like Inter did. We did the Zomer thing, right?
Do you know what?
Now we got Zomer thing. Like, Zomer is a starting goalkeeper. There are other goalkeepers around in the world in the Bundesliga that are free. This Arsenal didn't have to go and loan someone from the Premier League to block another loan from the Premier League for the rest of the season.
The mistake we made was that we didn't sell Ramsdale quickly enough. So in the end, we didn't sell Ramsdale to Southampton until right towards the end of the window. And then we decided that, so the guy that we want as the backup goalkeeper is this guy from Real Valladolid, I think, who's their starting goalkeeper. And with 2 days left in the window, we went to them and we're like, attempted to buy him. He's got a release clause of like 30 million, and we decided that we weren't willing to pay above like 22 million. So we went to them with 2 days left in the window, with them knowing that we needed a goalkeeper, with them having him as their first choice, and went, oh yeah, can we take him for 8 million less than the release clause? And so obviously they were like, yeah, Joan Garcia. So they were just like, no, piss off. So then with a day left, it was right.
What the fuck did Arsenal do this shit, bro? It's so strange. Well,
I don't know. I mean, who knows if that was on Edu, but It's, it was
is
odd.
Neto's distribution really bad? Because that hasn't he been at like Barcelona?
Yeah, but his
Yeah,
distribution.
but he was terrible.
Was he? Yeah.
It's horrific. I remember
It was
Barcelona
horrific.
fans.
Where else
Yeah.
was he?
Yeah.
Fiorentina.
Valencia,
Something like
if I'm not
Valencia.
mistaken.
But his distribution that was if you look at like one of those like what do you call them, like pie chart things or like graphics of Raya and Neto, they're nowhere near similar in terms of their attributes and what they're good at. Like there's no crossover, so it didn't even make sense in terms of bringing in someone that could play like Raya but not to the same level. It's just it was odd. But hopefully, look, if we end up relying on him against Man City, then it's a nightmare. But
Yeah, it is an. Who would you want to start? Trossard or Martinelli?
Martinelli, 100%.
Why?
pace, I think,
Martinelli
is
versus
big.
Nunes that's definitely an exciting battle if he starts out on the left.
I believe
Yeah.
Trossard.
No,
No.
because
I
you know
believe,
what it is,
okay,
Mo,
I
is that-
have this belief. Okay, let me explain it then. Because Havertz is not scoring, I believe Trossard can pose danger. I believe Martinelli needs a striker that he can cross like 50 crosses a game, and then the striker can feed off these crosses. But Trossard can score goal himself, and that's why I would choose Trossard.
Yeah, fair.
No,
He can.
why
but
would you
then
want Martinelli then? Why would you want Martinelli? There's no striker.
because we consistently see that the pace of Martinelli can cause problems. His end product might not be good enough. He'll win you plenty of corners, and that is genuinely a useful thing for us at the moment, which sounds bad. But the other thing is then, okay, so let's say you're getting later into the game, you're hitting the 70th minute at 0-0. I would much rather have Trossard coming on against the right back that has been worn down by Martinelli
Okay,
than vice versa.
off the bench then. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get your point.
Yeah.
And CZ saying we were getting cut apart by Bruges on Wednesday. If you guarantee me no injuries and a draw versus Arsenal, I'll shake your hand immediately, no hesitation. A draw is a good result for City in the top 4 race, isn't it?
Yeah,
In the
everyone
top
would say
four
so.
race, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad
Okay,
result.
City are not in the title race. Can we just establish that?
No,
They are not.
No.
If Arsenal are
think-
not... Go ahead.
No, I just think for any team in any context to draw at the Emirates is a good result now. Like even if City were in a title, even when City were in a title race with Arsenal, I think it's the same as if you're in a title race with Liverpool and you go to Anfield. A draw is a good result, or if you go to the Etihad, a draw is a good result. Like it has to be seen as a good result.
No, I agree. But a draw, to be honest, takes Arsenal and City both out completely. Arsenal out of the title race. City are definitely in a top 4 race now at that point. Liverpool would have won the league. Unless on Saturday, Liverpool lose or draw against Bournemouth.
Come on, the Bournemouth.
It can happen.
Are Liverpool about to enter their blip then off the back of that loss midweek?
With our C squad. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. Look, Bournemouth have been remarkable. It's just how long can Bournemouth sustain that? Like, I feel like there's got to be a point where it's like, okay, no, reality check. You are missing a lot of players, but we'll see. Look, it's going to be a tough game.
Bournemouth have not lost a game for a while.
Yeah, they haven't lost
they're
since
in a really-
November, I think.
Brighton.
I haven't checked that now because I kept
Yeah.
going down and I'm like, there's no losses in there.
They aren't
No more
so,
away.
they're so good. I've seen
And
some
they're
of them.
like they're scoring for fun.
Yeah. They've scored 9 goals in the last 2 games away to
Yep.
Newcastle at home to.
And before that, 2 against Chelsea away, 5 against Albion in the cup.
I mean,
Against
they were
Everton.
very, very close to beating Chelsea. Remember, Reece
Yeah.
James scored the free kick to bail Maresca and Chelsea out, but like they were
Yeah.
very close.
So title race on then.
Well,
No, it's definitely not over.
No,
Terrible.
but
It's
Europe
definitely not over.
races.
Title race on for Arsenal.
Oh, for
It's
Arsenal,
Liverpool might
yeah.
not.
Arsenal was so close. Like Arsenal was still in the race. I think it's obviously not likely they'll win it, but they're still in a good enough position that they are. Like I said Monday, I think it was. Arteta has to make sure that this Arsenal team are continuously picking up results. So if there's any blip from Liverpool, the gap will be closed almost immediately.
Can I
it
tell you
doesn't
something?
help us that it doesn't help us that City's game against Liverpool, the midweek, City go away to Madrid whilst Liverpool have the week off, which is
Well, then
No.
finish in the
Don't
top
worry,
8.
Rory. You've
Finish
got
in the
to
top
buy.
8, then, Man City. Then you would
Rory's
avoid this.
finding a way to Finish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Finish in the top 8 then, Man City. That's your own fault. That's not Liverpool's fault. Finish better in the
it's
Champions League.
not so. It's just
Don't
Arsenal.
bottle
Rory,
don't
see the
bottle it to
spin.
final when you're 3-0 up.
That
Don't
spin
bottle
on
it
the
then. Don't
narrative,
lose to
Rory.
PSG away. That's Man City's fault.
It's so
Ain't
cool.
no blaming on
It's
Liverpool.
just, it's just, sometimes the chips
I-
fall your way, and
Yeah.
the chips have just fallen Liverpool's
But,
way. And
Liverpool fans can say the same because Liverpool have a massive fan base in Southeast Asia. They get the most 12:30 kickoffs. That's not good. It's the same. That's a fact, right? We can all play this game. Everyone can play this game, Rory. But listen, the last thing about Arsenal, for Manchester City themselves, though, is a win now for this Manchester City team a little bit push them towards, well, maybe we can start a run and try to push Liverpool, especially if they get that, because they're still chasing Douglas Luiz, right? And Cambiaso. And I feel the Cambiaso deal will happen. I have a feeling that it will happen in the next 2 days before the window shuts. If that happens, anybody give Man City a hope, especially if Liverpool don't pick up the point, which is, logically speaking, I'm just going to say this with all the respect to all Liverpool fans, logically speaking, you don't walk out from Bournemouth with 3 points. Like Bournemouth haven't lost that from November, right? So if Liverpool drop
to win
points,
the league, Mo.
yes.
Hope to win the league? Nah.
Let me ask the City fans.
So
The City fans, if you win against Arsenal, Liverpool lose, do you have hope of winning the league? Yes or no? It's yes or no?
What would be the points difference then? 9 points, I think.
Yeah.
9 points. And you still play them.
and the
And
game
you
in
play
hand.
them at the Etihad.
Yeah,
And you play them at the Etihad.
We haven't won there for a while.
Man City's run of games, even after they got Leyton Orient in the cup, but then it's Madrid, Newcastle, Madrid, Liverpool, Spurs away, Forest away, Brighton at home.
Oh, that's tough.
they got a horrible, but then their running to finish the season is actually pretty favourable, which is why I think they have a chance to potentially move into second if everything goes their way. I don't think they'll win the league though. I just think the point tally that Liverpool and Arsenal can get is way above where City could be. Like City might push it, but all the City fans I've spoke to this week are saying they really don't care whether they finish between second and fourth as long as they get Champions League football.
Well, you'll probably get the 5th place. We'll get Champions League 2 this season.
Exactly right. So they could even finish 5th. I personally don't think Pep will allow them to do so. I think he'll push them to. I think Pep will be in that dressing room now, saying we take each game by game, trying to get the belief back that they might still potentially be able to do something if results go their way, just because it's Pep. And that is a squad of winners. And he'll want to keep the dressing room feeling the same, especially going into next season to just bounce back.
I don't know why, like the next season, I believe with Kuzanov, Marmoush and everything, I think City will be all right, but
They'll
not
make
as
signings
people.
in the summer though as well, Mo. They'll definitely sign.
I don't know why
and
I
Rodri coming
have a
back.
feeling that they won't.
Really? Oh, I think they will.
If they sign
I
Douglas
think they'll
Luiz
sell Edison
and Cambiaso, they won't. Yes.
They'll have-
Okay. A
they'll have money
replacements,
for it.
yes, Dan. Okay. A replacements, yes. Like one out, one in, yes. But the news yesterday is that Kevin De Bruyne wants to stay. So that is okay. Now that's an extra player on the squad.
But Bernardo,
If Jack Grealish goes,
Jack
if he
Grealish.
leaves, replacements, yes, but additions to the squad, I don't believe so.
I think you see City sign at least 3 first team players, like starters potentially.
3?
Yeah, I do. I think they'll
In what
still have to-
positions?
I think they'll lose their goalkeeper. So I think that's one. I think they'll sign another defender, and I think they could be tempted with another winger / attacker because I'm not sure the trust is there on Doku. And I think if money come in for Doku,
I think they go for another midfielder. If I'm
Grealish.
honest,
Midfielder is obviously another option as well, but Rodri obviously returns. They've got that horrible issue, haven't they, with Rodri? Is that the only reason they might not go for a midfielder is that could happen still in this window, and they might feel like they've got enough, unless like they deem Gundogan not good enough and he leaves. Like Mo said, it'll probably be replacements, but I think there will be replacements that will probably and potentially could start for them.
There's not a lot of players that come in and start. If Kevin De Bruyne renews, he
Kusanov
starts. There's
started.
still food.
Yeah,
Because of the injuries. If Diaz fit, you know he won't start.
but he still is obviously deemed to be at a level where he can compete for a starting place in the squad.
I hear you, but I think City have a lot of players now, by the way. A lot. When Rodri comes back, that's a lot of players.
Is it?
Remember,
they've got Club World Cup, and they're
Mhm.
going to have like players obviously getting injured as they've had because they've now got players that are regularly picking up injuries. So I think they've got the reason to extend that squad. They've had one of the smallest squads in the league. I don't think they've got too
Would you
many
extend the squad for a short competition like Club World Cup? That is
Yeah,
basically
well, they're allowed to,
friendly.
aren't they? They're allowed to.
they're
And
allowed
I think the pressure that if you don't have a big squad in the Club World Cup and you intend to go far in that competition, the pressure that will put onto you going forward into the next season with players having really short pre-seasons and lack of rest, I think you have to increase the squad size. And Pep even said himself, we probably need to improve the depth in our squad and probably add more players. Because he always worked with like 21 to 23 players, I think.
Even
Pep
less, probably
normally,
like 19 or 18. He doesn't trust
Pep
a lot of
normally
players.
has his starting 11 and he sub 1 or 2 only. He's not like others, like he just doesn't do rotations as much apart from one.
For a bit, he did
players.
Pep roulette, like just to wind everyone up.
Yeah, in the triple season, he played the same exact team apart from 1 or 2 players when he had a midweek game. That's about it. And that's a problem. Guys, before we go on to Liverpool and talk about Liverpool, there's over 500 people here. We're only on 120 likes, which is absolutely shambolic. So hit that like button. You're moving like Man City in the Champions League. Hit that like button, people. Let's get to 300 likes. Just a last question, City. Do anybody think that City beat Madrid in the Champions League? What are the chances of them?
Nope.
No chance.
Odds probably give it 60-40 Madrid.
I'd be like 80-20 Madrid.
I was thinking.
I think if you look at what City have struggled to deal with this season, it's Madrid, it's Mbappe, it's Vinny, I just think they're going to get torn apart.
It's Rodrigo. He is so
Rodrigo. It's just I don't see how City defend over 2 legs against Real Madrid.
Well, there's not going to be any defending in that tie. I'll tell you that right now. That probably will finish 8-8, 7-7 that tie because neither team can defend. Have you seen Madrid? Lucas Vazquez.
Yeah.
Horrific player. So it's going to be a field day for the attackers.
They do have Marmoush. Marmoush will be able to play for City and after that, this sort of draw or this draw.
Can he? I
don't see him winning.
Can he play the playoffs?
Yeah,
I think
they can register him now.
Now you can register new players, actually.
Yep.
Interesting. Fair.
For Liverpool, against Bournemouth, the starting lineup picks itself with Gakpo, Diaz, if I'm not mistaken, Szoboszlai and everything. Anyone see Liverpool having an easy game? Because some people said it will be an easy game.
No, it's definitely not going to be easy. Okay, so Bournemouth have beaten Arsenal, even though they got the red card early in that game. They drew with Chelsea. They beat Man City. They destroyed Newcastle. They destroyed Nottingham Forest. If Liverpool fans think this is going to be an easy game, they're smoking crack. I'll tell you right now. Because I saw some Liverpool account why are we scared of Bournemouth? You should be. If they have been unbeaten since November with the way they're playing, and bear in mind that they are ravaged by injuries. They have no striker. They're having to play Utara, who last season was playing as left back. What Iraola is doing with this side is marvelous. But the one thing Liverpool have done a lot this season, they've been ending a lot of unbeaten streaks. By Leverkusen, Lille. So those are a couple examples. I think the key for Liverpool is you just cannot lose the ball high up the field. Because the one thing Bournemouth are very good is quick counterattacks and counter press. As long as we can bypass the press, I think we can get in behind and score a lot of goals. This is probably going to be a high-scoring game. They give up chances, Bournemouth. And shout out to Kepa. Kepa's actually been quite decent for them recently.
Chelsea can do with Kepa, to be honest.
Yeah, Chelsea could.
Chelsea could have put the Kepa now, to be honest. For Liverpool, to be honest, in this game, the problem for me is the counterattacks and Trent and Robertson or Tsimikas, whoever's going to play. I believe Bournemouth have the weapons to hurt Liverpool a lot in this game.
Yeah, especially
actually, if you ask
Kluivert and Semenyo in their form.
Yeah. I see Bournemouth win, in my opinion. Why? Why not?
Oh, they're not going to win.
I just think they're not the greatest defensively. Even though they've got 2 very good center backs in Sabarni and Hoysen, they give up chances, Bournemouth. It's not like the Nottingham Forest had like 2 opportunities in the first 5 minutes watching the game. They give up opportunities. It's just Nottingham Forest couldn't capitalize. Newcastle had opportunities. Kepa made some good saves. So that's the key for Liverpool. You got to be clinical. So Gakpo, who's been clinical recently, he's got to step up. Diaz in the false 9. not really working recently, but maybe with these two center backs and maybe Bournemouth being a little bit more wide open compared to other opponents that DS has faced recently, they're not going to sit in a low block. I think Liverpool can score. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, to be honest. I think Liverpool are going to concede chances. The problem with Liverpool is every time these players have been rested or like after international break, they look sluggish for the first 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Here, you cannot be sluggish because Bournemouth will take the game to them. And I mean, if you look at the Bournemouth goals from last week, I mean, Nottingham Forest were defending horribly. The fact they allowed Justin Kluivert all that space to just shoot, Liverpool are not going to allow that.
I genuinely believe that Kluivert can exploit Semenyo as well. Like I see these two players exploiting the Liverpool defense. Yes, Liverpool have Van Dijk, and I rate Van Dijk very highly. But again, Gravenberch has been doing all right, but can he defend by
I
himself?
think you're looking at where Bournemouth can exploit Liverpool, but not where Liverpool can exploit Bournemouth. So
Yes, I am. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's
Most
the thing.
most
I think it will
happy
be a
copium.
high-scoring game. Salah against Kirkes. Kirkes likes to get forward a lot as well. Salah will happily just stay upfield by himself. I think that they'll exploit that space in behind a lot. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, didn't Liverpool actually comfortably beat Bournemouth in the
3-0.
return leg, right?
Yeah, Darwin scored a ridiculous goal.
Yeah, one of the only teams that have kind of done that against Bournemouth this season. So
The only team that beat Bournemouth away is just one team, the Blues.
there you go. So yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool won. To be honest, I think Liverpool is still the favourite.
I wouldn't be surprised as well. I'm not going to say I would be surprised, but if you ask me, I would pick a draw first, a Bournemouth win, and then a Liverpool win. I think that the lowest probability is Liverpool win.
I disagree.
Really?
I think it's Liverpool win more, then draw, and then Bournemouth win.
Completely.
And that's no
the opposite.
disrespect. I have massive respect for what they're doing, but there is still levels to this. Now, of course, Bournemouth took advantage of Arsenal with the 10 men. I didn't watch the Chelsea game with Bournemouth. The Bournemouth Nottingham Forest, I mean, that was just annihilation. I don't think even Bournemouth fans could believe what they were watching.
Wasn't Bournemouth supposed to win against Chelsea?
No, because they have all the injuries.
No.
Wait.
Chelsea got
Chelsea
dominated against
equalised.
Bournemouth and
Yeah,
won
Chelsea
with
equalised.
Nkunku's wonder goal at the end. Isn't that the game at the beginning? of the season?
Yeah. That's earlier on in the
Yeah.
season.
Oh,
We
that one,
did
yeah.
not deserve to win
that
that
was
game.
yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
What
was
about
1-0, right?
what about the most recent matchup with Bournemouth and Chelsea? Were Chelsea the better team? Because I didn't watch the
No.
game, so no.
Definitely not second half. Areola absolutely embarrassed Maresca. Jackson missed some chances, but the game just got away, and then Reece James had to score that free kick late on.
Yeah, the Cherries are a good team. It's going to be a tough matchup.
You'll
Well,
all
you
be
said
here
they've
on
only
Monday.
lost once at home all season. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I need to check.
I
Oh, because
think
when you said
so.
the Blues are the only team to beat them at home, that's what I thought that's what you meant.
I think Brighton as well have beaten them at home.
Brighton,
if I'm
yeah,
not
Brighton
mistaken.
have. I was just
Two
looking.
games. They lost 2 games at home.
They've beaten City at home, obviously.
Yeah.
And drew. Yeah, wow. they've
Beating
had some big
City at
results.
home.
I never thought the day that Vitality Stadium would be the the most toughest ground in the Premier League alongside the Emirates and Anfield.
The people that say that Arsenal will lose, guess who's the only team in the league that haven't lost at home?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people say City will go to the Emirates and just walk away with the 3 points. That would be.
Yeah, I mean, we've not lost the Premier League game to one of the big six in like nearly 700 days.
And City don't beat the big six like that often either. Their record isn't amazing against the big six.
No, I would be surprised and pissed off if we lost to this City team.
I think you'd have every right to be as well.
The thing about it, like, I still think that even if Liverpool lose this game and Arsenal win against City, even though I believe Arsenal can put pressure on, I don't believe that Arsenal will go on and to win the league. I believe Liverpool will still win the league, in my opinion.
I think if we won and Liverpool lost this weekend, I think it would start getting a little bit spicy because who are Liverpool's next 2 games? Merseyside derby away is their next game after Bournemouth in the Premier League. Whereas I think we've got like Leicester and then West Ham as our next 2. So it could start getting if we close the gap to 3 points, obviously with Liverpool having what would it be? 6 points with Liverpool having no 3 points.
3
What is it at
points.
the moment?
3 points. It's 6
at the
points
moment.
now.
It's 6
Yeah.
points
Do
with the
you
game in
two
hand.
play each other? Do you play each
Yeah.
other?
We
It's at
go
Anfield
to
then.
Anfield with
At Anfield.
three games. to
And
go
that's one of the
this
reasons I'm saying Arsenal will not win the league.
Do you know what? If Liverpool drop points to Bournemouth and Everton, I reckon the wheels come off.
Well,
completely.
The wheels came off last season. It is
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, later parts of the end of March, early April.
When you
That's
lost
when it
to
went off.
Palace and
Palace,
Yeah.
and Everton.
So it's possible.
Is it Salah watch as well now? Are we sort of hoping he
Salah
picks
watch
up form again, or
He starts scoring again. Then
He has been picking up form.
He has been scoring every game now for the last 2
and played
games.
really well too. Not just the goals, he's playing well.
It's getting to that period of time, isn't it, where he starts to.
There's no AFCON. He didn't go to AFCON.
There's no AFCON.
It didn't happen. There's no AFCON, so he's not gonna fall off. But I believe the contract situation will cause problems. That's the only.
I think that's done, isn't it? The contract situation.
They haven't.
No, I'm not saying he's signed. I think they know. I think the club and the player know what the future looks like, and I think they've known that all season.
I think they learned their lesson from the Klopp situation from last year, where he announced it, and that I think kind of derailed the motivation of the players. And
I said it the other week as well that they will not announce and throw one player under the bus. They just won't do it. If two have signed and one hasn't, or one signed and two haven't, they won't throw anyone under the bus. They'll just try and keep the harmony till the end of the season.
Well, even
I think they saw the backlash that Trent got when he was rumored to Real Madrid. So I don't think they want that right now in the club.
Didn't Kanate even come out recently about his contract as well?
Yeah, his contract ends in 2026 summer. So
he's got an extra year, but again, there's a lot of work to do with.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, guys. FSG, they're focused on buying an NBA team. It's okay. These owners, man, they're going to be the death of me.
Liverpool owners are not even worse than Arsenal owners. At least Arsenal owners feed PR. Liverpool owners don't. Liverpool owners are like, bang your head on the wall. Like, we're just not spending the money. We have the money. We're just not spending the money.
Yeah, they're just going to buy an NBA team with that money. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I disagree with them that the wheels will fall off. I believe that Liverpool will still be there. They're a very good team under Arne Slot. I doubt that Arsenal will pick up the form that they did in the last 15 games or like 18 games of last season. I don't see Arsenal winning like more than 10, 12 games until the end of the season. And I don't think that puts them in the right place to win the league.
What if they sign Watkins?
Now it changes.
Right.
Okay.
Massively,
so all of this, I'm basing it on my source, which is Rory Talks Football. He said on his channel, Arsenal are not signing anyone. My source for this prediction is Rory Talks Football. Like and subscribe. He said Arsenal are not signing anyone.
Do you firmly believe that, Rory? Do you think you won't sign him?
Yeah.
There's no way Aston Villa let go of both of Duran and Watkins. That's a criminal offense right there. Then the owners have to go straight to The Hague.
Yeah, people holding on to the idea that, if Villa go and get Joao Felix, then they can. You do not go from Duran and Ollie Watkins to Joao Felix in a window if you are a serious club. Like
you do. If the only reason I think Villa might consider that is because obviously the Duran money is ludicrous for the amount of minutes and goals that he scored, and for his age. And the Watkins deal is probably the last sizable deal they could get done for a 29-year-old.
It is.
And then they've got Marlon. They could probably get Felix on loan till the end of the summer, even probably off Chelsea without an obligation to buy. And then in the summer, they've got a huge amount of money to potentially spend on recruiting.
But what's to stop them selling? What's to stop them selling Ollie Watkins in the summer, though?
Just think. I personally just think the fact that he's currently 29,
but he'll still be 29 in the summer.
Will he be?
Mm-hmm.
By how many months? He just turned 29. I don't know, but I'm just.
I don't know, but he's realistically he's only going to be 5 months older come the start of the summer. So I don't think that suddenly his value is going to go from 60 million to.
But we've seen it before, haven't we? Where players get linked with a move, it doesn't materialize, and then it never happens again. We've seen it like on numerous occasions.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Jamie Vardy, ended up never took the move, stayed.
But even if he halved in value,
Scott Dan back in the day.
Yeah, but even if he halved in value between now and the summer, that would be let's say 30. They lose 30 million. How much qualifying for the Champions League is worth more than that alone? Depending on how far they can get in the Champions League this season, is worth a significant amount. I just don't think it would just be a big gamble, I think, that they won't take.
I'm sorry.
I
Somebody
might
just said
imagine-
Felix can play striker for them. Have you seen João Felix?
Felix and Marlon. I mean, that is probably what their options were. Maybe Morgan Rogers moves to up
That's
front.
just but
Wow, that
that's
is
just not
horrifically
right.
bad. Have you seen Marlon at Dortmund? This guy misses a gazillion chances. He's terrible. He's all he has is pace. So if Aston Villa really think they're smart, they're not. That's just foolish behavior on their part to sell two strikers.
think it's money considering where Villa were with PSR last summer, and they had to make a number of sales to make sure they fitted into that. The fact that they could now potentially generate 150 million in the space of a week, I don't know if they're in a
surely-
position to turn
I
that
think
down.
Surely
didn't
Duran
Diego
went.
Carlos go as well? I think he
Yeah,
left
he-
as
But
well.
they
He went to
stole
Fenerbahce.
Carlos, Kellerman, and
The
Diaby.
guy who went to Ipswich Town as well. What was his name?
Oh yeah,
Billigan.
yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
know Artur Cabral. It looks like I just looked while you guys talking because I kind of that news came in front of me that is it West Ham or Aston Villa? West Ham and Aston Villa are both maybe trying to sign him or something like that. That's the Benfica striker.
Oh
Right.
Jesus!
Well, West Ham are in the market for a striker. There's no denying that. They've put in
Yeah.
a number of bids with different strikers.
It's crazy, actually. We'll see what happens. To be honest,
Did
we'll
anyone
see.
see Graham Potter? He obviously grew a set of balls whilst he was out of a job and actually argued back with the journalist. When he's very soft at Chelsea, but he got very wound up. He's been asked that question for 3 weeks in a row, apparently. I think he finally cracked.
I can't believe so Brighton have rejected
Yeah, 95 million, Roy.
95 million euro bid. They've rejected it, and now Al Nassr are walking away.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
What happened again?
But so
Al
Winger.
Nassr have bid 95 million euros for Kaoru Matoma, and Brighton.
Yeah,
rejected it.
yeah. I saw that. I know,
Wait,
and they
who's-
rejected it. Oh, the
That is
player
crazy.
doesn't want to go as well.
But
Apparently,
I don't care if he wants to go or not.
what do you mean they can't force the move?
Wow.
Well, you can. You say you'll never play for Brighton again if you stay here. You're gone. You do for that. I criticise Chelsea for the way they've exiled Trevor Jalba. For 95 million euros, I'd take that for 3 Arsenal players combined, and I'd drive them to
crazy,
Saudi
isn't
Arabia
it?
in my
Yeah.
own car. That's mental
Yeah.
money.
That is mental.
He's 27
What?
years old. He's not
Yeah.
even. He's not even at the level that he was a couple of seasons ago. He doesn't carry much of a net. Like I get to the Japanese audience, maybe that's a good market, but yeah, he doesn't carry much of a name. He's not coming from a big club. I don't know. I find that incredible.
Do you believe that Brighton always win?
No,
Yeah.
They always win.
They always
I don't
win.
think they do.
Rory, they never lost.
But they wanted 100 million.
They
Evan
held for
Ferguson.
Bissouma.
Now,
They got more money than they wanted. They held for Caicedo. They
they
made more
wanted
money
100
than they.
million for. They wanted 100 million for Ferguson at 18. They're now looking at either
Loan
sending him
him.
on loan or selling him permanently.
Yeah,
for
okay, he
40
got
million.
injured though. He got injured. That's unlucky though. But Brighton always win, bro. In the
So you
transfer
think
market.
Matoma at some point is going to go for more than 95?
They go in
million
the
euros?
summer and they sell Matoma for 100-something million.
No chance.
Nah, because January's always more expensive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That is, someone just put the comment in the chat. Would you sell Saka for 120 million? I guarantee Arsenal would think about it.
No, I wouldn't. But I'd sell Trossard for 95 million euros.
Yeah, 70, 80 million for Trossard.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder though, if Saudi have got 90 million to spend on Matoma,
This
they
is what I
just-
don't get.
do
I
they
think
want
it's-
Madueke?
I think it's a
Madueke
more.
might
I think
fancy
that
it.
signing is more of a marketing thing for Japan. I think that's what Saudi are trying to do there.
Right.
Has to
Maybe.
be.
Well,
I don't see
listen,
any. Like you got 95 million. Go to AC Milan and try and get Rafael Leao then.
yeah.
Why are you going for
Alex,
Mitoma?
you know,
Probably. Who have-
Nah, you
Palace
know,
got a
you know,
Japanese
Saudi
fan,
Arabia is
though.
about the marketing though.
Yeah,
surely
exactly.
surely they could bid that for Rashford, and United would bite their arm off. And for that, you're getting a Manchester United English
Legend.
I
similar
don't
age.
know.
Legend.
No, maybe you could help me with this, but I'm not sure Saudi Arabia's
Let's
party
try,
scene is what Rashford is looking for, though.
No. True. True.
I believe if they give Rashford a lot of salary, he might go. A lot of
he
money. He might
would.
go.
You imagine how many
He would.
Rolls Royces he could crash then if he got a move to Saudi Arabia?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's the whole point. And then he can fly with his jet back to England to party in the weekend or something. Just
They got Neymar
Um,
money to spend, obviously, haven't they? So
yeah. Oh, they kind of terminated the contract with him.
Yeah.
Mutual agreement. That is the money that they have.
I saw on the Neymar move. Apparently, his aim is to go there for 6 months to show Barcelona he's capable of earning a return.
Who's that?
I
Neymar.
saw that on.
Oh, yeah. I saw that yesterday as well. Neymar
Wait, what?
will not play in
Yeah.
Europe again.
So
Neymar wants to go
Neymar's
to
plan-
Santos. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go on, mate. You explain
Oh,
that.
you explain it. Explain it.
All right.
What fucking
So
what?
he's going to back to Santos for 6 months in an attempt to show Barcelona he deserves a return.
But he wasn't even good enough for his Saudi team. Like even they didn't want him.
Well, I mean,
There's no
if that was
chance.
more down to injury. That he
Well, yeah,
You guys,
but
you guys know the news in America today as well, right?
well,
Messi doesn't want to renew the Inter Miami contract. And his family are not comfortable in America. They want to go back to Spain, to Barcelona to live. So he's looking for something there in Barcelona.
Do you know when's Barcelona's stadium finished?
I don't
they
know.
go-
later
open up the
later
new
next year.
stadium.
Later this year.
Right. So is the plan to basically have Messi and Neymar return for the new stadium?
Yeah, why not?
It's 2015.
You know, there's a president who would do that, and that's Laporta.
Yeah.
Because that guy is all about me, and the
well,
glamorous
they're
signings.
still Barca are still paying Messi, aren't they? They may as well get their money's worth for it. Bring him back.
Something like
They're
that.
still-
Imagine
They're
Messi
still
and
paying.
Neymar, and they get Busquets back. They sell De Jong, and they get Busquets back to lead the
Suarez
kids.
will be walking back in a Zimmer frame. He can barely
What
move in
the
the
fuck?
MLS. Like, didn't Suarez say before he moved? He just said, like, I don't know if I'll be able to walk, but to turn down the opportunity to play with Messi and the others again is an opportunity I can't miss.
Yeah, he can barely walk.
Yeah, it's amazing.
2026 reunion. What is this, bro? But this is it's actually news in America that he doesn't want to renew the contract. He wants to go back to Barcelona. So, and if he's gonna play football,
Well, he's always said that he's going to move back to Barcelona. So,
do you think
Probably
for
gonna retire.
football? Do you think
no,
for football
just,
or
just for
retirement?
life, just retirement, because he cannot live in Argentina. There is no way that guy will have absolutely no life in Argentina because he's just adored. So, he feels more comfortable in Barcelona.
Probably yes. Thank you, Nafisa, for supporting the channel. Guys, hit that like button. Come on, you gooners. We'll see this Sunday. Guys, let's get to 200 likes. We still have almost like 550 people here, guys. So hit that like button. Chelsea, though. Chelsea. By the way, then Amarim just said that Garnacho is not for sale.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
for
don't-
sale for the right price.
But Chelsea are not going to pay the right price.
True.
I don't know what Chelsea are going to do. I've got a horrible feeling we're going to end up with Evan Ferguson. Got a horrible feeling.
Is that the worst deal though? That's not a
Yeah, I
bad deal.
think
in
it-
my
yeah,
opinion.
Well, on loan? I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
on
no.
loan.
Really?
I wouldn't say no. Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
I'm
It's not the ideal situation, but you wouldn't say no. Like it's a
But
Really?
what, are you not just constantly dragged back to the fact that even when fit, Brighton have preferred Welbeck
Yeah.
and
that's
or
what I
Joao
keep
Pedro
thinking.
this season? That's the one
He's
thing that worries
really
me is
fallen off.
the injury concerns are one thing. An 18-year-old that's already since he was 18, he's now 20. He's missed over 200 days of football.
Yeah,
through
he's
injury.
missed a lot of football.
That's one thing. But actually, the thing that worries me is he's been available for a fair amount of this season and struggled to get minutes. And Brighton are looking at sending you out on loan to get minutes. If you're a club that's ambition is to be significantly higher in the table than Brighton, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. You may as well go and buy Danny Welbeck and give him a year or two. Like, it's a weird one. There's a big potential upside to it. I don't know if he'd ever find that at Chelsea anyway, to be honest. He'd never be given the time. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that move at all because I also believe that someone should be coming in for Jackson and the younger players to learn off of. What are you like? You're not going to learn anything off a guy that hasn't played football in a number of months or enough football in a number of months. I'm just not interested. I'd rather take Rashford.
What? Okay, let me just answer Andrew. Andrew, if City beat Arsenal, is the wheels coming off? What wheels? Arsenal are second with 6 points back.
No, because you guys were saying Liverpool's wheels will fall.
Yeah, I know, but
that
Arsenal
is
don't have wheels at the current moment.
That's a rattled super chat. I questioned Liverpool's wheels coming off, and it's just rattled him into giving you £2 for
Andrew, like this, no.
Cheers to the super chat, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much for the support. It's just there's no wheels at Arsenal now. But for Chelsea, though, okay, there are conflicting
Chelsea have
news.
fallen off.
Chelsea are going to go back for. That's actually a news. Actually, that's not like Taylor is not saying this. It's actually it's copy paste from somewhere. It's just on Twitter now. And at the same time, Fabrizio Romano is saying, "I want to prepare for the next game with Kobe Mino and Garnacho for sure." He said, I want Garnacho. I want to improve Garnacho. I'm not sure if that is a game he's playing or they actually want to keep Garnacho.
No, I feel like he
But
quite likes
sure,
Garnacho.
65 million pounds for Garnacho cannot be fucking turned down.
No, I'm sorry.
Wait,
if
I
United
really
turned down
don't
that, they're
understand.
Can I ask
stupid.
you guys something for real? Okay, hold on then. Hold on. What is worse? Arsenal getting 65 million, Arsenal paying 65 million for Havertz, or Chelsea paying 65 million for Garnacho?
Garnacho, 100%.
Really? Like every time I watch Garnacho play, I think he looks like quite an exciting player.
I know how to set up an agenda.
If Chelsea
Yeah,
didn't
you do,
have the
Mo. That's why you're
okay.
Mo Agenda.
If okay, hear me out on this, right? If Chelsea paid 60 million pounds for Pedro Neto, why is Garnacho at the same price so much worse value?
No, but that's Mark Goldbridge loves to do that with United players when he values them. The fact
I'm
that
not
you
trying
signed
to rattle
Pedro
anyone, by the
Neto,
way.
no, but the fact that you signed Pedro Neto for 60 million doesn't mean that Pedro Neto was worth 60 million.
No,
And
I
don't
hear
think
that,
he was
but
based on how he's played this season.
no, I agree, but I just think if he's worth Chelsea spending 60 million on to our club, and the sporting directors believe that that's a deal that either has opportunity to make profit on, or he's worth that when they sell him on the book value they make profit. I don't understand why Garnacho is any different, and I actually believe Garnacho probably has the potential to be a level above Neto or have better output than Neto, and is younger. I don't. If Chelsea didn't have the holes in the squad that they do, I actually wouldn't mind Garnacho coming in. I just think to spend 60 million when we've got the issues that we have, that is when it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So firstly, I don't think that position is like a must fix January signing, right? So then it's like, okay, so could you wait until the summer to do that? And if the answer is yes, in the summer, if you go and spend 65 million on a winger, like who else could you get that would be better value? So I would look at like a Semenyo. I would imagine you could get Semenyo for that money. That for me would be a far better signing. So I think there are options out there. I mean, even Nico Williams, you'd be spending a lot on his wages, and this season he's not actually had a great season, but his release clause is way less than 65 million. So
here's the difference between Kai Havertz and Garnacho, in my opinion. When Arsenal signed Kai Havertz, he already failed before he signed for Arsenal. He already failed in the Premier League, right? We all agree that it's a failed move to Chelsea. Yes, he scored a goal in the Champions League, but we know that move did not bear any fruits for Chelsea as what they hoped to be. At the current moment, and I said that yesterday, Garnacho hasn't failed yet in the Premier League. He hasn't. On paper, Garnacho hasn't failed.
Mo,
he hasn't, Rory. You're right.
Mo, with your eyes, do you think he's a good player?
Bro, he's rubbish. What are you talking about?
Okay, so then we go then.
What are you talking about?
Honestly, I think he's average.
You know what? You know why I like doing shows with Mike? Mike lifts everything I'm saying and he asks the actual question. Do you think he's a good player? And the answer is no.
Really?
He's not worth 25 million.
No. Let's not do the value here. Like what Rory's
I
saying.
swear.
I hear that, right?
Can you give me examples then? Give me examples. I'm going to tell you who's better than him in the league.
No, let's not do comparisons either. Like I genuinely don't. I see a player that when he's
is he better than Mudryk?
No, but hold on, Rory. Dan, the word a good player is very relative. A good player for Sunday League might not be a good player for Chelsea. So I need you to tell me what do you mean by good.
Okay, when Garnacho plays, he always tries to have an impact on the game. He always try to work a shot, always try to work a creative opportunity. As a winger, he's more direct than Jadon Sancho. He's probably more direct than Pedro Neto. I just think for what Chelsea need, as a winger, he's probably potentially going to be more efficient than what Mudryk was. Probably similar output to Maresca. I think he comes in and he actually might be Chelsea's first or second best wide player.
I got the twitch.
I think it's probably between him and Sancho if he was to come into Chelsea. Because I think Neto's been okay. I don't think Neto has been unbelievable yet this season. But I think Sancho's been really good.
I think that's more of a concerning thing for your squad if Garnacho could come in and be the second best winger.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Well, how many have we got? We've got four. We've got four. One is legally not allowed to play football currently. One has a pretty poor output in Neto. Sancho doesn't have an output, and I mean Madueke's attitude is very, very not necessarily his attitude, but his application to trying to work hard for the team is definitely questionable. It's been questioned by a number of different managers. And I don't believe Chelsea's wide players are the best part of Chelsea's squad, right? I'm not saying they're unbelievable. I'm not putting Garnacho on this unbelievable level. I'm just saying I don't think Garnacho is that bad in comparison to what Chelsea have currently. And I don't think he's that bad.
Can I tell you something?
for a
Garnacho wouldn't start
20-year-old.
for Bournemouth. Garnacho wouldn't start for Bournemouth.
Really? I don't know. I think
I
he
want
would.
to
Garnacho wouldn't start for
Garnacho
Forest.
wouldn't start for Brighton.
Or Forest.
Garnacho wouldn't start
Or
over
Newcastle.
Elanga and Hudson-Odoi.
No,
I keep going? Garnacho
the-
wouldn't
the-
start
the-
over
Garnacho
Jacob. Okay,
is
let me go
arguably-
on.
Garnacho is
Garnacho wouldn't
arguably
start
the
over
reason-
Jacob Murphy for Newcastle.
No, he would.
Garnacho wouldn't start. No, he wouldn't.
The issue is not even those teams though, is that if you're now in a position where the next stage for Chelsea should
Rory.
be looking at. Is my mic?
No,
on?
his mic is working. It's you,
No,
Dan.
his is good.
Ah, it's done. Yeah, the issue for me would be not just your Brightons and your Forests. It would be he'd get nowhere near Arsenal's team. He'd get nowhere near City's team. He'd get nowhere near Liverpool's team. And so, if you're bringing him in and spending 65 million on him, and that's supposed to elevate you to competing with the teams that are going to be competing for the league,
Thank you
then
so
I
much.
think you've got a big problem.
Thank you
Would
so
you-
much.
Would you spend 60 million on Garnacho or Matthias Tell?
Neither, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear that, by the way. I don't think either are worth 60 million.
Well, of course not.
I-
but is
I
Kyron
like
McComas
Tell.
worth 95 million? No. So we're in
No.
we're in a crazy market nowadays.
I think Tell has a significantly higher ceiling, so I'd be more willing to take the gamble on him than Garnacho. Garnacho's
Watch
played,
both players, bro. Just watch both players.
yeah,
Just
What is
Garnacho's,
wrong with
Garnacho's
What's Garnacho bad at then? Like, why is he
Well,
so?
You know
Can I tell
why people would rate Garnacho is because he looks busy. You can look busy all you want. Where's the end product?
and
I'm
I look
serious.
busy, by the way. If I play for Man United, I look so busy. I
I would
promise
look so
you.
busy too.
I
But
look so
do you know,
busy on the
you
pitch.
can even compare it like for like when you watch United, even if you just compare Diallo and Garnacho. Diallo is level
Miles.
above Garnacho.
Miles.
Miles ahead of him.
Yeah,
And
Can
so,
I ask you
I'm
something,
not
Dan?
saying he's as
Dan,
good
can I
as
ask you?
Diallo.
Dan, can I ask you something? Would you take Martinelli or Garnacho?
Ugh.
See, I'm giving you two players that
probably
even
Mart-
Rory doesn't rate.
Probably Martinelli, but I'm not sure.
Martinelli is a significantly better player than Garnacho.
Is he really?
Well, not
Like, is-
significantly, but
Right.
That's
Because
significant.
I
I've
think
watched-
he is. But
Every
he's
time
also
I've watched Garnacho, I don't see the poor player that everyone speaks about for like a 19, 20-year-old.
But I
I
don't
don't
think it's
he's a poor player. But he's
don't
just
see a great
he's
player.
average. Like if you're
Yeah.
spending 60 million Chelsea, you got to get somebody better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Chelsea have spent 60 million on a number
I
of players
know.
that
Yeah,
aren't
but
that
that's
good.
not a reason to go and spend.
More money on an average player.
Yeah,
I need reasons on why Garnacho.
You're
like,
not
obviously
letting
you
us
said he looks
talk. You're not
busy.
letting us talk.
No,
Can
God,
explain to you.
I am. So,
You're
like,
not letting
I-
us talk.
for me, he's just an average because
Can
even if
I-
you compared it to that Martinelli thing, yeah, I saw
what isn't
Martinelli
he very
put up
good
a-
at, Rory?
Okay, let
I
me
don't think his
run
output's
this.
great. I
Let me
don't
run
think-
this segment seriously, Rory. Is he good at dribbling, taking on one-on-one? Give me a rating from 1 to 10.
5.
Assuming that maybe 10. Who's 10 in the league in taking on his man as a winger, for example? And being
Not a
effective?
lot. In the Premier League, not a lot. So you could say Vinicius, for example.
Let's say, okay, Vinicius, like Yamal, for example.
Yeah.
What is he? Where is he there? Okay, Saka's 8, 7. Okay, let's say Saka's 7. Salah is 7, right? In terms of like dribbling, Salah 6 or 7. In my opinion, I'm just saying, this is my opinion. Garnacho is 3. Semenyo's better. Mitoma's better, right? Am I wrong here, Dan? So
Cunha's
from
better.
10, is it Madueke can dribble better than him one-on-one.
Yeah,
Sancho's better dribbler than him.
yeah, but that's their biggest asset. Like Sancho's biggest
Fantastic.
asset is probably.
Let's
his
now
dribbling.
go to the other one. Quickness. You guys know that Garnacho is not quick. He's not fast. It's a
5.
sprint. He's not Modric. He's not Martinelli. He's not even Salah. He's not Saka.
James
He's not
Milner.
Madueke. Like, I'm being serious, by the way. I'm trying to find attributes. Shooting or finishing. We all watch Garnacho week in, week out. Crossing with both feet. Whoa. basically, I don't think he's even in the category of good, if we say, because I'm using good in Rory's definition. Rory's definition is top notch. Chelsea, if you're going to spend 65 million, you need a player that will elevate you next year to be amongst the elite, not
Mo,
to be within
okay,
the brightness, right?
Mo, I hear
So
what
he's
you're
not
saying,
good
right?
in any attribute
I
that
hear
will
what you're
make you good.
saying,
Yes.
but what were those players doing at his age? They weren't starting for Man United.
Do you see the potential though in him being better dribbler later in his career?
No, I don't.
Better
I
finisher.
don't. No, but I do potentially see him being a better player than Madueke. I do potentially see him being.
Madueke is only 23 though.
Yeah, but could he not be? I don't think he had. Like Semenyo seems like a bit of a late.
Can I tell you
bloomer.
the
I don't think he
difference?
has the ability to
Can
do
I
that,
ask a
but, like,
question then? Can I ask a very quick question?
Yeah.
Who was much better at 20? Rashford or Garnacho? 20 years old.
Oh, Rashford. Easily.
Okay.
And Rashford
He's,
went on
he's-
to
he's
be a 30
miles
goal a
ahead.
season
Who is
player.
better, Saka or Garnacho?
Saka.
man.
So if you're going to spend 65 million, you need a player that was potential of Bukayo Saka. And Garnacho's not that guy.
No, because
Because Bukayo Saka at 20 years old might not even been
Arsenal
worth
wouldn't have
40 million.
sold Saka for 60 million at 20. Like they wouldn't have sold. He was
They
already
would
better
have,
than
4
60
years
million.
ago.
So shouldn't that indicate to you why wouldn't Arsenal sell him, and why are Man United being tempted to sell Garnacho?
I don't because I actually
they know
don't believe,
they know
I
he's not
don't
going to turn
believe-
into a great player.
I don't believe Chelsea think they're signing the next Saka by buying Garnacho. I think they believe they're buying a player that for the next 6 years will withhold his value, if not improve as a player. And by the time he gets to 26, they would have used him for what they got out of him and potentially sell him on for a similar value and not lose any money on the player. Because I believe that's how the club are going to work now.
So you agree with us that it's not a football sign? It's a value
I
sign.
think they believe he is useful for the squad, and I don't view him as awful. I don't know if I look at him like that for a 20-year-old player. I think he's okay.
See, I think
Like-
maybe this is now into the range of like it's as a Chelsea fan, you're so used to spending big sums of money on players that for like 65 million for you now it's like well that's a
15.
he'll
Yeah,
do
but
a
I think-
job.
I think that's right, Rory. Yeah, because Chelsea's
Okay.
players that they've spent. Okay, they're hoping, I think, eventually that every now and then they can spend 40 to 60 million on a player, and it turns out to be the next Cole Palmer. But I think they're aware that for their players to be the best in Chelsea squad, they have to be valued at over 100 million, or the transfer fee has to be over that. I think that's what they probably think has to happen.
I think it's a crazy way. I think it's a crazy way of approaching it. Like
You know
I
what?
think that is their direction.
Man United fans are going crazy. Some of them are like saying, what is your point, Mo? Why do you hate Man United? Yet you guys will be dancing if Garnacho sold for 50 million. It's crazy. But they think I have an agenda against fucking Man United.
Do Man
because I think
United
Garnacho's
fans
not a
care
good
if they
player.
sell Garnacho? Like, do
They
United
want
fans?
it,
No.
bro. They're dancing on
Right.
streams.
that's
Hyde
never
is dancing.
Yeah,
Staff
that's
is
not a
dancing
good
on
indication
streams,
to me.
bro.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Definitely not.
for a fan base to be actively willing what is effectively an academy player to be sold. It's never to one of their theoretical rivals. It's
Yeah.
never a. Can you imagine Arsenal fans celebrating Saka going to United or Liverpool or like? Yeah, I think that probably tells you everything you need to know. Because the thing is, as much as you say what's he bad at, I would say what's he great at. If you're taking Garnacho into a game, what does Garnacho offer that's going to be a real threat to a team? Nothing really.
I'm not entirely. I feel like he will always try to work an opportunity, and I feel like the idea is that within the next 4 years, he improves to a level where that opportunity that's worked becomes end product.
But also,
And
then,
I
if you
think
do it
that's
as
why
well,
they view it as opportunity.
Yeah, maybe, but also then. So what happens to Madueke? Obviously, Mudryk we don't know, but Madueke, Sancho, Neto, Palmer. Haven't you got like Estevao and that lot still coming
Kendrick
through?
Bailly is
and-
coming. Yep.
Yeah,
Genuinely, Rory, right? I reckon they are all for sale at the right price.
Wow.
And I
Is
believe there's a focus.
Ouattara better than Garnacho?
No, not yet. I don't think it's too soon to say that. I know he scored the
Wait,
hat trick.
who?
I don't know if Garnacho.
Ouattara from Bournemouth.
It's too soon to say that.
No, that's too soon.
Mike is thinking about it.
But you
No,
might.
that's
You
too
could
soon.
probably. You could probably say that Clivert is
I'm just asking the
currently
question.
at a much better level than Garnacho.
Would you swap Madueke for Garnacho?
Yeah.
and you pay 30 million. Because Madueke's
20.
price is set at 30 million.
20.
You'd pay 20 and you'd be happy
and
with
then
it.
because I think we paid 35 for Madueke, so I'd want to make some profit on him because I think he's improved since he joined the club. I think he's a better player now than he was.
I don't understand this Chelsea hate for Madueke.
I
don't see any
you know what it
point
is,
in
Mo? I think it's the fact that Madueke can score a goal like he did against City, where there's no one in goal, and it's a tap in, and he'll post afterwards suggesting like he's done everything he needed to do in that game because he got his goal. And I think you can see quite evidently his application to working hard for the team is definitely falling short of the level it needs to be at for a top side in the Prem. And the multiple managers have now questioned his application to training as well. So I think that's why Chelsea fans would happily sort of see the back of Madueke, because I don't think the quality matches the
attitude.
Yeah.
Can I ask the Liverpool or the Arsenal fan before we end the show? If you're a Chelsea, who's getting the better of the deal? Madueke plus 30 million for Garnacho.
But Man United don't really need Madueke either. So does either team win? I guess maybe Man United because they get some money for Madueke. But in all honesty, it's just average for average.
It's like Sanchez and Mkhitaryan all over again. Although actually, theoretically, at the time, United were getting a good deal. But
exactly. And then Sanchez turned out to be terrible.
I think I'm the only one on the internet. I think Madueke is a good player.
No, Madueke is a decent player, but
Madueke has an unbelievably high ceiling. There's a lot of talent, a lot of ability there. But I think it's.
I believe Madueke has better game than Martinelli, for example.
But Martinelli will do everything in his power to win a game and fight for the
that's it. If
If
Madueke
I will never argue that, guys. I will never argue this. The attitude and the work ethics on the pitch is different. Yes. That's on a manager to change that. The player has the ability. And the thing, if that's at 29 years old or 28 years old or someone like Rashford who's in the second part of his 20s, I would say, yes, it's hard to change. But if a player is still in the early 20s, I believe that a manager can change that attitude. And also with the teammates around him, with the winners around him, or people who push him to do a better, to be better on the pitch.
Like right now,
that's why
Andros Townsend has been at a better level in his career than Madueke's been at. But I'd say Madueke has more talent, more ability, but I just don't think Madueke is going to be able to apply himself like Rory said with someone like Martinelli. They apply themselves to work hard. And arguably Martinelli is reaping the rewards of that this season in a way, because he's not been unbelievable, but due to his hard work, he still managed to score more goals than he had at this point last season.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have this feeling that Madueke will go somewhere else and will thrive completely, and then Chelsea will say something like that.
He'd only ever thrive at a club where he's given the license to. I was about to say the opposition. I was about to say the opposite completely. I was about to say that Madueke will thrive if he doesn't feel that he's one of the best players on the team. If he has Isak next to him, Anthony Gordon, Guimaraes, Joao Linton, Tonali on his head top all the time, you're not one of the best. You need to work hard to show us that you can be part of this team. I believe he'll work hard.
So you think Madueke thinks he's one of the best at Chelsea?
100%. The way he 100%.
If you give Antonio Conte Madueke will turn into a beast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Antonio Conte will just drill this sort of mentality into the player. I think Maresca, he's done well with Madueke, but you got to have that sort of drive if you're a manager. And I think Conte would install that into Madueke.
I have the problem that I think Madueke, when he plays, he's like, as you guys say sometimes, I scored a goal, I'm already headlines. I'm fine. I'm good. I don't have to do anything more. He doesn't believe that anyone is better than him on the pitch. It doesn't help that there is Jackson, Sancho, people that don't have a lot of output, you know what I mean? So him scoring a hat-trick against Wolves and a goal here and there, which is opposite to a player, as Rory said, like Martinelli, for example, which is like Martinelli, minute 1 to minute 90, running his ass off on the pitch, licking the grass, you know what I mean? Trying to win every single duel. That's an attitude thing. That's someone that wants to be one of the best. Doesn't believe now that he's one of the best. Martinelli doesn't believe that. And also some of the people at Arsenal that are one of the best still work hard. Saka never stopped working, even though he's Arsenal's best player. Never. Declan Rice never stopped working. Right? Kevin De Bruyne at City, even though he was one of the best players, he never stopped working. Madueke doesn't have that. And it comes from the team around
Does
you.
Garnacho have that?
Garnacho works every second, bro. Every second on the pitch. He never stops running.
Right.
He
So is
never
that
stops.
not
That's why Antonio Conte wants him.
right? Okay.
Yeah, he never. I don't believe he
that-
has the ability of Madueke, though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right.
working hard. I think should be a, that's
Bare minimum
that's
for
the
a
bare
football
minimum.
player, right?
That's not worth that. Working hard isn't worth 65.
Is
million.
okay. So what you're suggesting to me is Garnacho is potentially the Premier League's Conor Gallagher at left wing.
100%, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, well, a little bit more ability than Conor Gallagher, but yeah.
Yeah, but on the left wing,
Yeah, on the left. Right.
the ability of Conor Gallagher in the midfield is equal to Garnacho's ability as a winger
Right.
in that position. Actually, I believe Conor Gallagher is more useful than him. Sorry, Dan, you need another position. You need other positions first, which is
I
why
completely
fans are
agree.
going crazy.
I completely agree.
Like get 60 million for a defender and a goalkeeper. Yeah, 60 million. You can get a decent goalkeeper and a decent defender in this day and
We've
age.
ruled it. We've
100.
ruled it out. We've ruled it out. If anything happens in January, they've already said it won't be a goalkeeper or a defender.
I honestly cannot believe you're still sticking with that guy, by the way.
Well, that is the thing that's now. up
They
for
are
debate,
trying to
is
sign the
press.
Dortmund goalkeeper. What is his name?
Kobo.
Yeah,
Kobo.
Kobo.
Did you see that
But
mistake?
Maresca-
He made a horrible mistake over the Champions League week.
Honestly,
He's
watching
linked to
him make-
Chelsea 24 hours later. He's making mistakes.
Literally.
It was terrible.
Anyway, Mo-
in the press conference, Maresca did say that this is the first. I think this is the first time he's publicly said he's deciding who will play on Monday. Normally, it's always been Sanchez will play. Sanchez will play. He's now said there's a decision still to be made.
Do you like the Jorgensen? Do you think he's a good goalkeeper?
I have no. I can't
Because
judge.
I can tell you from Villarreal, he is similar to Sanchez. I think he's a bit better than Sanchez, but he does make mistakes.
Of him at Villarreal. I think a lot of these players who are young as goalkeepers will make mistakes. But Sanchez is 28, 29. still
Exactly.
making mistakes. It's whether or not they improve by the time they get
I
to
know.
that age.
All I heard is Chelsea had a great attack. What happened? Also, Sancho is terrible business. Sorry. You remember when we sat on this show and a lot of Chelsea fans were saying we have the best attack in the league? Do you think Chelsea still have one of the best attacks in the league?
Yeah.
Not on current.
Not current form, but I think they have the talent-wise. They can be one of the best.
Yeah, also get Andre Santos back. Dan, what a bowler. They won't get him back.
They're not going to.
They're not going to get him back. They're not
I
gonna get
would
him
not.
back
I
next
would
season.
not be surprised if a huge bid comes in the summer from PSG or something and they sell him. Would not. be shocked.
Has
How
he
much did
played
you
the
pay for
game?
him?
Guys, has he played the game for Chelsea? Has he ever played a competitive
Maybe
I
in
game?
think he played
pre-season.
one or two, yeah.
Not a
He went on
competitive
loan
game
to
for
Forest
Chelsea.
last season and they didn't even
Didn't play.
use him.
Yeah.
Haven't who was Datro Fofana's club? Haven't they abandoned his loan as well?
It's something Tepe is the club in Turkey. Yeah, they have.
Turkish,
Yeah, yeah. But apparently
that's
he's
one, well,
injured. Apparently he is injured, or
Ah.
has been injured and not played. So it's apparently that is to free up an international loan spot for someone else to move. But I don't
So
know
you've
who
had
that
to-
will be.
So there's him. Did you ever sell Brozier, or is he out on loan?
No,
as well?
he's currently
Oh, no,
injured
he's going
and-
back,
as
isn't
well. Yeah, he's injured.
he? Yeah.
Is he back at Chelsea?
I'm not sure whether he got
More-
recalled or not.
Didn't Moyes suggest that it might be worth doing because he's probably not going to be available
Yeah.
for the rest of the season?
His career might be done. Sadly.
Yeah, I'm starting
Yeah.
to feel that too.
Yeah.
It's work ethic more. Even Palmer doesn't do that. No, Palmer just has his body language, but he works. He's always trying to find an angle for his teammates. I disagree with you, Nafisa. He's always trying to work, Nafisa, like Cole Palmer. He's different than Madueke. His body language just shows that. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Appreciate everyone. Rory, thank you so much. Good luck on Sunday. Dan, good luck on Monday. We'll meet before we play the game. Mike, thank you so much for joining the Rational League. It's your first time.
Good luck, Mo, on Sunday, by the way. Do not lose another Milan derby.
Well, Mo, you wished Chelsea and Arsenal good luck, but not Liverpool. Well, I suppose they're an agenda.
He has to play down his agenda.
He has
I'm
to
gonna
play
tell
down,
him.
exactly.
I'm going to tell you why.
We know he's. a
I
Liverpool
want Liverpool to win the league because I want Mohamed Salah to be in the conversation with Henry who wins the league. But I also, and I mentioned that plenty of times, I'm all about entertainment, right? I'm a neutral in the Premier League. If fucking Liverpool win and Arsenal lose, What are we talking about here? Top 4 race
The top 4
for everyone? Literally, because the title will be over. So there is no. Basically, Liverpool will absolutely remove Liverpool from the content until Champions League comes back. Like,
yeah.
there's not going to be anything to talk about. They are not doing signings. Arne is doing a great job. Okay, Liverpool segment done.
Yep.
So we have to have something. That
Give
is
Tom
the
Little the month
agenda.
off.
Exactly. Anyway, we'll see you guys. Appreciate everyone that is here. Hit that like button. Rory's channel in the description, but also TikTok. If you're in TikTok, Rory Talks Football in TikTok. Great content. Let's go and support Rory. He's have very, very good content. Dan as well. Dan channel in the description. Fantastic videos lately and great shows. And Mike, of course, Michael Talks Football in the description as well. Appreciate everyone that joined us. I will see you guys tomorrow. And we're out of here, people.